with using of this equipment in Europe. I know some of the Europeans do use auger trailers, but British farms, I haven't seen that many using it, if any. Well, speaking of British farms, there is going to be a season 2 of Clarkson's Farm on Amazon. It's worth a watch if you don't have any particular animosity towards Jeremy Clarkson. It's entertaining. From reactions I've seen from farmers, it's entertaining for both people who have a passing interest in farming and people who are actual farmers and want to laugh at some complete incompetent trying to farm. And that's not to say, Clarkson doesn't know what he's doing. It's not that he's a stupid person, it's just that he's never done farming. He is a motor car journalist enthusiast, so doing farming is not really something he's all about, but he owns a farm, so he decided to do it himself, and it's kind of the trials and tribulations of him learning what this farming thing is, sort of thing, and making all the mistakes. But as I said, if you don't like Jeremy Clarkson, forget it, because it's Jeremy Clarkson. But if you don't know who he is, or you don't mind him, or you like him, the series itself is both educational and entertaining. So worth a look, and there's going to be another series, so that's a thing. 8:41. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I could probably clear this a lot quicker with the auto load. But then the semi-truck is currently up the front of a grain cart. Yeah, we only get 41,000. Well, it's still money. That's what I say. I'm going to try and collect the bales in one area rather than drive across the field. That way we're reasonably assured of we've collected all of them when we're done. Sounds like someone's cutting wood. Possibly our neighbour, because we were on vacation during the week before this last week. We left on the Monday, came back on the Thursday, and we came back and there's a big giant tree in our yard that wasn't there when we left, so we're assuming there were some rather interesting storms, and now there's a lot of firewood. And neighbour has a chainsaw and does like to have bonfires in his backyard over the course of a year, so he's probably chopping that up. Which is all fine by me. As I said, when we're done here, I'm going to get some lunch and then go out to Home Depot and do some Independence Day shopping. I also need a ton of lumber, but I'm kind of in two minds over that. I've heard some really weird tales in the lumber industry. There's some, oh, what was it? Someone was saying that treated lumber is cheaper than untreated lumber, so people are buying treated lumber to do their building projects with, because not because they need treated lumber, it's an interior project, but since the treated lumber's cheaper, they're buying that. I noticed that at our local lumber supplier, the specialist lumber suppliers are still horribly expensive, but the sort of bulk Home Depot type places, although Home Depot not so much, their lumber supplies suck. But there's one of the sort of the more major chains in this area. They have 4x1 dimensional lumber that at the 6 foot length is pretty much close to normal non-demand prices, and it's cheaper than the 1x3 and the 3x1 and the 2x1, which is kind of weird. And they have about 800 lengths of supply, so maybe I'll take advantage of that, especially if it's on sale. I mean, the project I've got, it's a sort of, do I want 3x1 or 4x1? And the benefit of 4x1 is that it'll be able to support more weight, although I'm not really putting that much weight on it. So do I need the additional structural benefits of 4x1? I would guess probably not really. However, could I save a lot of money by buying 4x1 instead of 3x1? Absolutely. So I've got no qualms about buying 4x1 and benefiting from the added structural support that 4x1 will give me, even though strictly speaking I probably don't need it. But I'm all for, well, it's cheaper by a good margin. So heck yeah, we'll buy some. And I've got a table saw, so I could cut it in half and make 2x1s, which are also more expensive than 4x1s, for half the material. So, wow. And I want to make the legs out of 2x2s, and again, not sure that's cost effective at the moment. However, I could glue a couple of 4x1s together, cut them in half the other way, and make a couple of 2x2s, and hey, legs. Although one of the guys I was watching make what I want to make, he was suggesting that you should use hardware to join things together and not glue. Glue's fine, but over the course of time it will slip. So unless you're using screws or nails, your precise tolerances may drift over the course of time. Now sometimes what I'll do is I'll glue something together since there's a little more, it's a little easier to adjust while you're setting it up, and then once it's, once you've got the line right, screw it together to make the joint permanent. But not really necessary. It's just, it depends on how close a tolerance you need on what you're making, I think. At least for me. If I don't really care, I mean, it's like I I assembled some temporary shelves for the closet which used to house our hot water tank and furnace, and basically just said, well, to heck with that, I will yeah, well, I'll do what I'm doing with it. And it literally was cut lengths of wood and just screwed them together, because screws are relatively easy to unscrew and take the material apart when you don't need them anymore. And I needed the shelves to sort of create a pantry overflow, but they're temporary, so I'm not too worried about are they level. In fact, the support legs are all screwed together. The lengths of wood I've used on top to form the shelves are just dropped on it, and I'm really not, I cut them close to length. There may be half an inch give at each end, but I didn't screw them down because frankly didn't need to. But if they'd been a more permanent affair, then I'd probably have considered wood to get it all lined up and then screwed it together once I was happy with the joins and the edges. I'm really not sure there is enough straw on this field to make another bale. But we'll give it a go. $15.95. But if there isn't, I might have to find another field with cereal in it that we can bale. Or I'm just going to have to wash out all the straw in this baler. Yeah, this ain't going to put us 2,500 maybe. But like I was saying, if I can't get a full bale out, then the next thing we're running through this is clover, and I need the clover. I don't want a random straw bale coming out. Well, it is what it is. There's this boomerang here, and then it's really just patches of almost nothing. Guess I can just run over a patch and see what it comes out at. So we are at 2680. About 50. 2780. Yeah, don't. Unless there is a long row of straw, I think I'm wasting my time. And I think I'm pretty certain I cleared up the bottom of the field when I did the sort of the bit after the stream last week, where I just collected all the bales and then I ran around and cleaned up. 28.89. I think we're done. I think we'll call that done. I need to take this somewhere where I'm going to trip over it. So back over here. And lift the collector. drop the bales in this family of bales. And then we can fold out. So I will do a bit of a check, see if we've got any serial contracts that we can do tomorrow game day. If there is one, then maybe we'll do that. If there isn't one, then we're kind of done for harvesting everyone else for now. And as I said, I'm going to need that baler emptied. So there's a little cheat if you go to the reset point, which happens to be in the yard, and reset. Well, it really doesn't. I could reset the baler where it is now, and it would ship it to the reset point and clear out the straw in it. There's a mod you can do, which you press Control Delete while the baler's selected, and it will delete the straw in it. But you can use in-game mechanics and just reset a baler. And it's convenient on this farm because the reset point is actually in the yard, whereas a lot of the time it's at the store, and it's kind of a long drive down to the store and back. The sun is setting. It's already coming up on 9. There is a light on top of that barn. I might turn some of these on, since we are going to be driving around the yard into the dark. Light switch there, we'll run around here, there is a light switch here. Yay. Jump in the back of that, unload the bales. We're done with that unload. So, I mean, the bales aren't really worth much. However, what little there is, there's a light up there. There's a light switch there. There we go. Okay, that should be at least adequate for now. I might need to turn the work lights on the tractor so I can see where I'm going as the sun sets, but at least we'll be able to see in the yard. We're doing this. So, bale creation is done. As soon as we pick up the last bale, I'll move everybody off the field. We'll claim the contract as done, and then we'll drive. Dukes of Hazzard into the field. It looks like we've collected all the bales to our right. Which is basically what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to keep it so that all the remaining bales are in the same place and I don't miss any while I'm doing it. So it's really annoying coming back, because I may not come back to this field until next year's harvest. The last thing I need to be doing is driving through a field and then ploughing into a bale that I created last year. I don't think they're going to get cleared. Obviously, with your own fields, it's a little bit easier because you're going to run over it with a cultivator and then say, oh, no, bale. I mean, it might be that we do a cultivation contract or a planting contract here, but it's not necessarily a foregone conclusion that that's going to happen. Okay. Oh. That's cool. Oh no, that's what am I thinking? That's the lane. I was thinking, yay, there's a pass through to another field. But yeah, no, that's not a thing there. Okay, that's payment for the JCB driver. He expensive. Okay, so that's all the bales around here, all the bales over there, so you've just got a whole family of them down here. We're at 8. So I think what we'll do is I'll run towards the left again, so that because that one over there is sort of sticking out a little bit further than the rest. We're really looking at the bales are close to the truck and nowhere else. And this one here is a little bit of an outlier. Oh yeah, 12, 2 more. Grab that one. Grab the one over here. And as it gets darker, it's going to get harder and harder to spot them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Looks like there's 2 more loads and +3. So after this one, I've got to do this 2 more times +3. There's my Land Rover, not my Land Rover, because the Land Rover doesn't work. And I could start hitching some of this. Oh, hello car. Could start hitching some of this stuff up on a follow me and bringing it back up to the yard, because that's going to delay. Yeah, it's going to make this job longer. And I don't really want to do that. And for the grain carts, I kind of want to take them up the front. Because we're not going to have enough time to put everything away. I typically stage everything over there. And if there is another contract, I'm still going to want this equipment lying around, ready to go. Oh, that was hopeless. Let's try not to do that. I went a little bit further past this barn than I was actually intending to. Okay, that's good. Oh, there we go. So we're getting a good amount of money here. We're now over 200,000. What did I guess at? 210. because we had 146 plus the contract should have put us up to about 190. I said with the bales 210. This is getting more and more tricky as the sun goes down. So one thing I will give Oxygen David maps. Yes, I've been in the countryside at night time in the UK, and you can't see your hand in front of your face without a flashlight. So it is very realistic. It's that driver again. Whee! Dukes of Hazzard over the edge into the field and get the next load. Yeah. Okay. So I'm guessing 31 more bales. Let's see how that works out. Let's turn the right side. I think I got all the bales to our right, so it's just this lot here. Take it up towards the top of the field before we make the loop, because we should have to... Oh, they're a little closer than I expected. Right there. Well, darn. The intent was for me to take it higher up the field and then grab both of those on the way back down. Unfortunately, I didn't go high enough up the field to be able to get the right angle on it. This one should be easier to do the same, similar thing. Oop. There's a little bit more room this way, they're better oriented. This is number 10, 4 more. Looks like 2 over there. Is that a third one, or is that just a patch of straw on the ground? I think that's just a patch of straw. I'll swing by just to make sure. Yeah. Okay, 2 more. Well, that one and that one. That's kind of handy.